How do you feel about Christian Watson and his new contract extension here?
I'm happy about it. Super happy for Christian. I think anytime anybody gets a contract extension, it's great news. And, it's just a testament to the work he puts in, the type of player he is, who he is in this locker room. But I'm happy for him, happy to get him for another 4 more years. So something we got to just keep building upon and keep finding ways to be at our best.
Jordan, you look at those first 3 now, Christian, Jaden, MG, they're all under contract for multiple years now moving forward. I mean, what does that mean for you? What does that do for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great group of guys right there. And so, like you mentioned, to have those guys and knowing that they're going to be here for the next couple of years, it's great. It's great for us as an offense to just keep building upon, the just continuity we got together as a group. Keep building the chemistry and just trying to find ways to get better and better every year. But they're great players, and I think for MG, obviously he's the youngest, but I can't wait for him to keep building and attack this year. But I'm excited about just having that group and the things we'll be able to do.
When you think of Christian Watson, what aspect of his game do you think he's made the most improvement in the last year or two?
I think just catching, like the contested catches. I think since he got here, we all know what type of speed he has to be able to just run by guys. But I think for him, the biggest thing, he's 6'5", and I think he's got so much better at just those contested catches, those jump balls, those tight window throws where there's a DB draped on his back. And so he's been doing a lot better job at that. And, I think for him, it's just continuing to improve on everything else. His route running's got better since he got here, but I think the biggest thing is just his catching ability.
And his downfield blocking and things like that those guys get drilled. I asked Matt that today, and he thought about it. He said, consistency.
Mm-hmm.
He said, look at the tape of the Giants game. Do you see that?
I mean, I think it's something that we definitely highlight, when we break down film after a game, after practice. It's something that when we're in those meetings, those run game meetings, Steno makes a point of it. Look at this guy, doing whatever it takes, blocking. Sometimes they're blocking DNs and bigger guys, linebackers, and so they definitely make a point to showcase when guys are doing their job like that. But it's one of those things as a receiver, obviously those guys want to be catching the ball. They want the ball in their hands. So when you get guys that can go in there and block and do the dirty work to be able to open up some of those run game holes, it's huge, and it's what we need, and it's something that's just asked upon those guys, and it just comes down to that effort and, like you said, consistency at it. But he does a great job at it.
Jordan, it seemed like number 90 was all over the place today. What have you seen from him this offseason that's maybe a little different than the past?
Yeah, Van Ness was flying around, man. I think the biggest thing with him is his get off. He was getting off the rock today, and he's got that speed that puts tackles in a bind. They got to make sure they're getting off at the same time as him. If not, he's going to beat you around that corner. But I'm excited about him. I'm excited for him and what's going to come this season. He's in a great spot, but he puts the work in, and he's a guy that he's always making practice hard on us. But I think for him, it's just his get off is what I'm noticing right now. His speed around the edge, and so I'm excited about it. They'll probably move those guys around a little bit, put them on the inside, things like that. So excited to see what all he can do.
Safest move to curl up in the fetal position when he won the way he did on that one play.
Oh, that one, yeah, I slipped and I was trying to do scramble drill, slipped, fell down, and yeah, the guys were getting pushed in my lap. I was like, hey, easy. So I was trying to make sure I didn't get stepped on, but it was the scariest moment for me so far in OTAs.
Jordan, Matt said during this offseason, he tries to say, guys, take that one thing and try to get better at it heading into, training camp in the season. For you, is there anything that kind of jumps out to you that you try to continually build on and try to work on right now?
Yeah, for me, my biggest thing is that I've noticed since I got back is just my feet in the pocket, trying to be as smooth, as consistent as possible, when I go through my reads, getting my hitches, and, not getting antsy, not getting in that point where you're just trying to move through the pocket too fast, but just staying calm, staying relaxed, move through my reads. If I got to move around in the pocket, keeping those movements pretty tight and not kind of running into where guys might be peeling off and able to hit you. So just really trying to focus on my feet, my pocket movements, and obviously I think all those things are tied to accuracy and just the timing of routes and things like that. So just trying to be as dialed in as possible, but that's the biggest thing I've been trying to work on so far.
Jordan, how important is that jump from your rookie year to year two, like for a guy like Javon Bullard and Evan Williams? They had huge years in year two. So for guys like MG, Belton, Barrett, Sorrell, how important is that jump in terms of their confidence in play?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just kind of naturally happens for a lot of guys. I think year one as a rookie, there's just so much on your plate, trying to learn a whole new scheme, obviously trying to go play now at the highest level there is. So it takes time. I know for me it definitely did, and it wasn't all click in my rookie year, and it takes time and reps. So I think the more reps you get under your belt, the more comfortable you get. The more, for a receiver, the more different looks you're able to see as defense is giving you, and you understand how to run routes a certain way, the timing of plays, where to be in the windows, and then you just start going out there and making plays and stop thinking as much. So I think for guys like that, it's inevitable that they kind of make that year two stride and just feel more comfortable, feel more dialed in with everything they do, and you get to see some of that confidence start popping out more.
Is there something about not really thinking about it and just going out there and doing it?
Yeah, there's definitely something to that. It's definitely hard. Like I mentioned, rookie year, you got so much on your plate. Usually you're just trying to think about what route you have, what the play is, and make sure you're lined up in the right spot and all those little things. So the more, you get those reps, like I mentioned, you understand stuff, and it's almost second nature. You know what you're doing. You can start going out there playing fast and just reacting to what the defense is doing and not thinking as much because, when you're overthinking things, you slow down, you play slower, and not as free. So there's definitely something to it, just going out there playing fast.
I know you guys are waiting for Tuck to get back at tight end, but Josh Wiley had a couple of plays out there today. I mean, is he a potential sneaky contributor for you guys in this offense?
Definitely. I'm excited about him as well. Since we've been back in OTA, he's been making plays, and obviously he got here last year, was available for us, didn't have too much time out there, but he got better, and this offseason he's been putting in the work, and he's been making plays. Obviously with Tuck out, great opportunity for him to step up and make some plays, but yeah, been finding him a couple times down the field, and I think for him it's just the consistency as well, knowing where he needs to be at all times and just building upon all the little things, but he's doing a great job.
Jordan, you got some different pieces on the line, right? Zach's not out there today.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Jagger in there at left guard, but Sean's been there the whole time. You had 9 games or whatever it was last year. Where do you think you guys are at in terms of your connectivity from snapping the ball to seeing things the same? How's that developing?
Me and Sean, it's been great. Like I mentioned before, just having a guy who has a full year of playing under his belt. For him, he's played at guard, so he knows what he's doing. But now I think at center is different when you're making the calls. You're the one snapping the ball, so you got to be on time with everything. But he's done a great job. Our communication has been great so far, and obviously there's things we can build on. But like you mentioned, as a whole with the line, we got different guys out right now, so there's a lot of moving pieces around, and so. That's kind of how it is sometimes in the season. Injuries happen. Guys got to get bounced around to different spots. So I think it's great the guys are able to get multiple reps at different positions. Like you mentioned, Jagger, he's been moving around, left guard, right guard, center. So for a young guy, it's good. It's good for him to keep learning, keep experiencing different things, and it'll help him be ready if his name's called, this year, whatever position. But I think for everybody, it's tough when you're moving around a lot. So the more consistency and playing time you get at one position, I think the better it will be.
How do you guys work on finishing games during practice in the off season here?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to just trying to emulate that in practice. I think today we kind of got off to a slow start on offense. We're making some mental mistakes and different things like that, and we brought everybody up as a group, and it's what we talked about and harped on all offseason. We got to find a way to, when it's not our best early on, we got to lock back in and regroup and find a way to finish the day off. So I think you just have that mindset going into practice. We got to find ways to finish the day, and those things will slowly, I think, translate into games.
I watched the lineup today with Christian, Jay Reed, and MG, and I thought that's a new look with Romeo moving on, etc. And they're different kinds of tools in the toolbox, right? They do different things. Those guys. Talk about how you envision that going into this season. Those three.
I think it'd be great. Like you mentioned, Rome and Wicks are gone, not in the offense anymore, so there's going to be a lot more opportunities for these guys, those three right there, to get a lot more reps, a lot more opportunities to catch the ball. So I'm excited. Jay Reed and Christian have been guys who have been here. They've been consistent, and they know what they're doing out there. And then I think for MG, like I said, it's just having that jump from year 1 to year 2 and being as consistent as possible. But when all three of those guys are on the field at the same time, I think we're going to be a dangerous offense, and I can't wait to build upon it. And then just finding those next guys below that can step up and make plays when their name's called upon.
Jordan, how often do you catch yourself when you're watching Marshawn Lloyd in practice and be like, ooh, that could be interesting if we can really get that on the field? Like, do you caution yourself, be like, we got to see it, but how optimistic do you get when you watch him?
No, you always feel that way. You know, since Marshawn's got here, we all know that he's a little yeet can is what we like to call him. He's very explosive. And he does some really good things, but he's just one of those guys that's kind of just got that freaky twitch ability that, is just God-given. So it's definitely something that you catch yourself watching him in practice. We watched him in some of the preseason games last year, and you get excited. So I think for him, it's just trying to find ways to stay healthy and be able to be available and get out there on the field and make it come to life. But I'm definitely excited for him to get his opportunity and, kind of put the world on notice.
Is Yeet Cannon Nathaniel Hackett thing?
Yeet Cannon, it might have started with Hack. Yeet Cannon. I think Steno started that one. Yeet Cannon. Steno loves the word yeet, so he's the Yeet Cannon.
I think you called him a little rocket his rookie year, a little rocket in the backfield.
I don't know about little, I'm gonna stop with the little words. He's a shorter guy, but he is a rocket though. He's got some juice getting out of the backfield, like I said, to be able to get to his top speeds, things like that. Like I said, it's just something I wish I could do.
Jordan, is there a guy we're not asking you about that you've seen some things from this training or off season?
Not asking me about. Let me think here. Offensively, we've talked about guys. You talked about Wiley, who I'm excited about in the tight end room. I think I want to see Say. I want to see Savion Williams. He's going to have be another guy that will have that year 2 jump. And I think for him, it's just getting those reps, like I mentioned, and feeling more comfortable and confident with everything he does and just knowing the offense inside and out. But I think he's another guy that once he gets more comfortable on the field, gets more opportunities, he can make some plays for us as well. So I'm excited for him. Obviously getting Bo Melton back there on the offense side. Bo's done terrific things whenever his name's called upon, so building the consistency. But yeah, I just think for a guy you haven't talked about, I think Savion, I'm excited. Chris Brooks, another guy that doesn't get talked about too much in the running back room, but he does great things whenever his name's called upon as well. So we got a lot of guys where it just comes down to once we get into training camp, preseason games, and start the season, seeing how everything shakes out and who's really making those plays. But we got a lot of guys that I'm still excited about when they get opportunities.
So after this week as a veteran, what have you learned is the best way to spend, July before you report here for camp?
Yeah, once you get a little break, it's about trying to, get away from ball for a little bit, enjoy that break, but also continue to put that work in, work out on your own, train on your own, throw on your own, do all the things that you're doing while you're here to make sure when camp comes around, we're ready to roll and, you're at your best. So it's just staying locked in, but at the same time, I do believe, you got to have a little break, get away from ball for a little bit, just enjoy some downtime because, once we get back from training camp, it's all gas, no breaks. So just trying to live life a little bit, but, keep that mindset of training, staying in contact with the guys, hopefully trying to get together with them at some point, but just putting that work.
Two more for Jordan. It's going to be your job to let Veronica get some sleep while you've got a break.
Yeah, we'll kind of tag team that one and work together with it. Well, yeah, during the break, we'll have some help as well with family members and things like that. But, I won't be waking up as early, so it'll be nice. I'll have a little bit of more time. But, I still got to stay on the grind, stay training. But we'll tag team that.
Jordan,
What has been the most?
This is a little off topic, Jordan, but does the World Cup, are you interested in that at all? Will you follow that?
Yeah, it's something that, I'll watch. I'll definitely follow some of the games. I'm going to try and go in L.A. to one of those games for sure. But it's, World Cup. I love sports in general. I'll watch anything. I don't stay, as tuned into soccer as much, but World Cup, I think that's the biggest time of the year. So you gotta love it. But I'll try and go to a game. I don't know who's playing out there. I don't follow it too much, so I don't even know. But I'm excited. It'd be cool to experience.
What has been the most challenging thing for you as a new father as you're doing all these off-season workouts that you're like, oh, this is a little different. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just, before you have a kid is you have all this time to yourself, and you come home from work and I can study the iPad, I can do what I need to do to get my body right, and now it's coming home and you got to help out with the kid and do different things. So it's just trying to find ways to stay on top of everything on your schedule while you have a new responsibility. So I think for me it's just figuring it out, and I think it was great to have this time during OTAs, when the days aren't as long, to be able to figure that out and still get that time in with the family. So I think, you know, everybody goes through it. People do it all the time, but it's just trying to find that balance of time. That's the biggest thing always.